Hello and best wishes all dear students. Hope you are all doing great. Dear students, welcome to your methodology classes. In this video series, we wanted to start our lesson from the point till where we have studied in our physical classes. So I hope you will follow all the videos sequentially and you will not miss any parts of the videos. If you face any kind of problems or questions, feel free to share them through the WhatsApp group or through the comment sections. I will solve all your problems on time, inshallah. And also I will give you different kind of assignments and projects. I hope you will do all your assignment on time. Besides, as I mentioned in our literature class as well, please refer to your course policy which I have given to you and study all the course policy, so you will be clear about our lessons, from where do we start and what are the topics included that we must study. Let's start our first lesson. Our topic is about teaching larger classes. Jeremy Harmer's perspectives on teaching larger classes. So Jeremy Harmer is one of the author of our course book. In this section we wanted to study his perspective regarding larger classes, how we can manage larger classes, how we can effectively teach larger classes, which strategies, activities, policies should we consider in order to make our larger classes teaching successful and effective for our students, and how we can involve all the students if the class is larger. So Jeremy Harmer said that challenges that come with teaching larger classes and offer strategies to address them effectively. So we will study them here. So he says that we must bring engaging, active and interesting activities in the class in order to involve all the students in our lesson. Harmer promotes the use of interactive and engaging that involve all students in larger classes. If we know that there are so many students in our class, we must bring and prepare activities which involve all the students, and also the activities must be interesting for the students. He suggests incorporating pair and group work, hands-on activities, and multimedia resources to maintain student engagement and participation. Actually, if we bring different types of activities and we do not focus on the single in one type of activity, it can help us, our students, to engage them in our class activities. Which kind of activities we must bring to the class? For example, like pair works, group works, practical activities, multimedia resources, for example video, audio, written, visual, picture materials, and all these multimedia resources we must apply in our classes in order to make our larger classes effective. This kind of activities and this kind of tasks can help our students to be involved in the classes. Another point is maximizing student interaction. So in larger classes we must try our best in order to maximize the student interaction, in order to keep the students active, and also we must try our best to activate every single student in order to participate in the class activities. Harmer recognizes the importance of fostering student interaction in larger classes. So it is very much important that all the students, even the passive students who are not active in other class, they must also participate, and we must use different strategies, techniques in order to activate, in order to involve each individual student in the class activities. Harmer also encouraged teachers to design different activities to promote collaboration, such as group work, pair work, and class discussion. So a teacher must try his best in order to prepare different activities which incorporate students with each other and also to help with each other. How we can do that? By applying different activities like pair work, group work, and class discussions. So these kind of activities can help students and make the habit of students to help each other, to collaborate in the activities, to discuss in the class, and become more active in the class. And also these interactive tasks can create opportunity for students to engage with each other and actively participate in the learning process, as I mentioned before. So these kind of activities like group work, class discussion can help our students to be active. Besides that, it make their habit to help each other to transfer their knowledge and increase their learning. Individualized attention. Harmer acknowledged the challenge of providing individualized attention in larger classes. So Harmer accepts the challenge that in larger classes it is a little difficult for the teacher to care about every individual students, because there may be so many students, in reaching to each student, asking them, involving them, it's a little bit challenging for the teacher. He recommends utilizing strategies such as circulating the classroom, monitoring student progress, providing timely feedback to address the needs of individual students. So although Harmer accepts the challenge of providing individualized attention in larger classes, but still he says that there are some strategies through which we can give attention to individual students and we can involve every individual student in the class. What are those strategies? For example, like circulating. So we prepare the students in a circle so we can reach to each individual from our side. And also we should monitor students' progress. So on a daily basis or sometime in a weekly basis, we monitor different students according to the attendance or according to a specific list. So we give time to every individual on a daily basis. We monitor their promotion, we monitor their development, their learning process. We evaluate if they have learned something or not. Besides monitoring, we must provide them feedback. For example, if our students have problems in a specific point, so we must give them feedback that how they can improve this point, what should they do, to where should they refer. We must give them different resources, we must give them different materials. Also we must give them some classes to solve those problems where they have problems. So through this way we can involve every individual students in the learning process, and we can activate passive students, and also it can help us in order to provide individualized attention in our classes. Differentiation. Harmer believes in adapting instruction to cater to the diverse needs and abilities of students in large classes. So Harmer also says that there is differentiation in larger classes because there are so many students and their levels are different, because we cannot collect as much students in the same level. So it is another problem from the point of view of Harmer, that there will be different level students. So how we can teach to different level students the same thing? It is another problem for a teacher, but still he can teach to different level students effectively by applying different strategies. He suggests employing differentiated instructional strategies such as providing additional support for struggling students and challenging extension activities for advanced learners. So by applying different strategies, for example, by providing additional materials, for providing supportive materials, for giving them different learning videos, audios, or sources where they must search, and also by giving challenging extension activities in order to motivate advanced students. So this can help us to keep both students active, advanced students and also passive students. For a teacher, for professional teachers, it is must that he must consider both students. If he work for lazy students, for passive students, so advanced students will be bored and they will not learn something, they will not give attention, and also they will be not interested in your lesson. And if you give time to your advanced students, so the lower level students will be left from you and they will not learn something from your class. So still it is a problem. So we must give supportive materials to the lower level students, and also we must give challenging tasks to the advanced students in order to keep involved both sides in our class. Harmer advocates for incorporating a variety of instructional techniques and resources to cater to different learning styles and preferences in larger classes. As I mentioned before, a teacher should not go based on one level students. He must consider all level students in his class in order to keep them involved in the class. So the teacher must not give the tasks on the same level to all level students. He must have different types of tasks. For example, advanced level in challenging tasks for the students, medium level tasks, homeworks, assignments, projects for the students, and also lower level tasks, activities to the students. Teaching larger classes utilizing technology. Harmer recognizes the potential of educational technology in facilitating instruction in larger class. Harmer also encouraged teachers in order to involve new technology in their teaching process, but it must be effectively used in order the students to take advantage in their learning. He suggests leveraging digital tools, multimedia resources, and online platforms to enhance student engagement, provide individualized feedback, and facilitate collaborative learning. So Harmer suggests that the teacher must use different kind of technology, digital tools, multimedia resources, for example like projector, for example like bringing computer to the class, bringing videos and audio materials to the class, and also the teacher must guide his students to use different online platforms for their learning resources. So this can help the students in order to be engaged in the class, and also they will learn something about their lesson. Also, Harmer says that the teacher must provide individualized feedback to each student individually. The teacher should reach to every individual student, should find needs of the students and specify and give feedback regarding to the needs of the individual student. And also the teacher must facilitate collaborative learning, means like he should bring different activities to the class in order to motivate the students to help each other and transfer their knowledge to other students. Now let's come to Douglas Brown's perspective about larger classes. Douglas is also another author of our course book. So Douglas Brown also acknowledged the unique challenges that arise when teaching larger classes and offers insight to address them effectively. He also said that larger classes is a little difficult, challenging for the teacher who are teaching different subjects. So in here we will discuss about some of the challenges and also solutions for them, which Douglas have presented in our course book. The first thing which Douglas wanted to throw light on is classroom organization. Brown emphasizes the importance of effective classroom organization in larger classes. So he said that larger classes, the first important thing is that the teacher must organize the students in a proper way in order to enable all the students to give attention to the lessons. For example, you organize and you set your students in lines, you may set them in a circle or through different other ways, but it belongs to a teacher how he can properly and effectively manage the students. He suggests arranging the physical space in a way that maximizes student-teacher and student-student interaction, ensuring that all students have equal access to instructional materials and resources. For example, where is the whiteboard, where is the projector, and where the teacher stand. So all these things should be considered, and later on the teacher must decide about the students setting, that where each student set, in order all the students to equally have access to all the instruction materials, all the things that the teacher use. Another point from the Douglas point of view is active learning strategies. Brown advocates for the use of active learning strategies in larger classes to promote student engagement and participation. The teacher in larger classes must use different types of learning strategies. The strategies which can actively involve the student, which interact the student, which give opportunity to the student in order to do class discussion and do participation in the class, and also the strategies which enable all the students to participate and engage in the class activities. He suggests incorporating collaborative projects, group discussions, and problem-solving activities that encourage students to actively construct their knowledge. So as Harmer also mentioned that class discussion, group work, pair works are important in larger classes, Douglas also comes to the same point, and he says that different collaborative projects, for example like group discussion, pair works, problem solving activities, and different other activities which needs students collaboration should be given to them in order to help them every individual stay active and participate in the class. Brown also suggests implementing effective grouping strategies to facilitate learning in larger classes. Teachers in larger classes must use different strategies in order to effectively manage grouping works. He recommends using a mix of whole class, small group, and pair work activities to ensure that all students have opportunities to interact and contribute to the learning process. So Douglas recommends and he suggests that a teacher in larger classes must use different strategies like mixing a whole class or for example dividing them into different groups, or for example giving them pair work. So these kind of strategies or activities can involve our students, and it gives opportunities in order to interact and attract our students to collaborate with each other and to learn collaboratively. Another point from the Douglas point of view regarding larger classes is about formative assessment. Brown highlights the significance of ongoing formative assessment in larger classes. So Douglas says that it is very much important for a teacher in order to involve them to assess their students regularly and constantly. Through formative assessments, we can assess our student in a daily basis. For example, we select a specific group of students in order to ask them and assess in their today's lesson if they have learned something from today's class or not. So it can be done at the end of the class. Douglas also suggests employing strategies such as quick checks for understanding, peer assessment, and self-assessment to monitor student progress and provide timely feedback. So he says that we can use different strategies for assessment. For example, we can quickly check our students' understanding at the end of the class. For example, we select individual students from different parts of the class and we ask related question about today's class. So it will be a quick check about understanding of the students. Also, we can do peer check. For example, in a writing class, we give them a paragraph or an essay to write, and then we tell them to exchange their assignment or their work with their peer. So their peer gave them feedback on each other project. So it is also a peer assessment. And also another one is self-assessment. In self-assessment, we give them different questions regarding to their learning. That, for example, what did you learn in this chapter? What did you understand before? What did you learn new? It is a kind of self-assessment about their learning process. From this, we can understand where our students are, which strategies should I use for them in order to develop them furtherly, how should I go with my students, which kind of task, activity, strategy should I use for my students in order to give them more improvement. So it is enough for today, dear students. In the next class, inshallah, we will study mixed ability classes from the point of view of Douglas. Hope you have learned something from this lesson. Please feel free to share your suggestions, your criticisms, your ideas regarding our lesson. We will consider in our next classes. But I am suggesting you to refer to your course policy, study that, and follow our all videos which I am uploading in our platform. Thank you so much. Have a good time.